Hi, how are you? It's Travis here, and welcome back to our adventures with the Hardcore Warrior.
Hello.
Last episode, we completed a quest in Tanaris, and today we are in Feralas, guys. And we are going to continue questing here. I'm going to pick up a few quests from the Witch Doctor. Let's see what other ones we should pick. Should I pick up Sting Lasher?
Hail. We must ensure the survival of this
Pick
camp
it up.
at all costs, adventurer. Our enemies
I don't know if
must
we'll
not
go
be
there,
given any
but
quarter,
maybe we will.
for they would surely give us none were we to need it. In surveying the writhing deep, one of our scouts reported seeing a giant insect much larger than the other insects spotted, wandering about the twisted terrain. Not only is it larger, it also seems to secrete some sort of aura that the other insects don't. We've given it a name, Sting Lasher. The innards of this beast would be invaluable to study as we figure out the best way to deal with this new threat. Cut out its secretion glands and bring it back to me immediately. I have a lead on an even better source of hides, if that's even possible to believe. In the northern parts of Feralas, deep within Rage Scarhold, are another throng of Yetis. They're much tougher than the ones you dealt with before, so if you're up for a bigger challenge, you'd best be on your toes. I would reward you handsomely for a stack of 10 of their hides. Bring them to me here, and we'll finish our business. In my day, I was a seasoned hunter. There wasn't any creature around that I feared, until I was out in the forest, sharpening my blade after a tough battle, when I was ambushed. Harpies surrounded me, and I barely managed to drag myself to safety. Even now, I can still hear their cries echoing. I was never the same after that, but the hate boils inside of me. I must get even after all these years. The North Spring Harpies can be found to the west of here. Adventurer, get my revenge.
Alright, well, we'll pick up Dark Ceremony as well. I need to find Rocco Han, though. Rocco Han patrols up and down here. Because Dark Ceremony is where we have to get the orb. There it is, right there. From the Gorduni Ogres, but
These seem to be plans for some sort of dark ceremony.
it's kind of a rare drop.
From what I can make out, this ritual is conducted by the Gorduni Mage Lords. Find one of these Mage Lords, and from him, gather an orb. The orb of a mage contains great power, and will help us discover more about this ceremony and the magic that the Gorduni wield.
Alright, well, we're gonna go and do this quest up here first. We'll get the Scar Yeti hides. And let me check these few quests out. Hippogriff Musek. Since you have proven that you are both trustworthy and gifted with the ability to use the Music Vessel, I now wish you to capture another creature. Hippogriffs have been loyal companions to Night Elves for many years. Their spirits are loyal and steadfast. Your task is to kill 10 Frey Feather Hippogriffs and quickly shrink and capture them with the vessel so that their music may be preserved. You will find the hippogriffs in the high wilderness to the south of here. And then natural materials. I will need certain materials to complete my endeavor. You may do this alongside the other tasks I will give you. I'll need the splintered log from a Trent of Feralas. Encrusted minerals, these can be found on the mountain giants and fairy dragons to the west. Also find me some resilient sinew from the Albies of the Hinterlands or the Hippogriffs of Feralas. Finally, I'll need a large amount of metallic fragments from any of these creatures I mentioned. Alright, so there we go. We'll keep an eye out for some of these fairy dragons, I guess. And a warrior just went down, guys, to an Atali mistress. Died in Zul'Gurub. And I hope you guys are doing well today. I'm doing pretty good. heard something that made me a little pretty happy about esports today. Well, it's kind of like an up and down situation. I'm pretty proud of the players. So, the League of Legends devs, Riot Games, are trying to justify legalizing esports gambling sponsors for their events, right? And the players are not buying it, which I'm happy about. I hope it doesn't happen. Because usually, like, kids or younger people watching these events, mostly. And you don't want them to get into gambling at a young age. That's never a good thing. Because gambling, man, this decade, it has become so prevalent in the last, like, 5 years. It's legalized in Canada. Which is kind of crappy because you see it all the time when you're watching sports. They're always like, bet this, bet that. I'm not going to say the names of the companies, but there's always a ton of gambling sponsors going on. So I guess that's why League of Legends is kind of saying, you know what? Since we see it all the time, I don't know if it's like that in the States, but since we see it all the time with, like, you know, professional sports, why don't we take advantage of that as well? But yeah, it's become so common now, gambling, that it's almost like just having a beer. Yeah, you just pick up your phone, boom. You got it. You can place a bet. So I'm happy about what the players are doing. We'll see how long it lasts. You know, eventually money will get involved, and they get paid enough, they might say, yeah. And I also heard something interesting about the Switch 2. I think I talked about this earlier, but it uses an LCD monitor, and they did some testing and compared the monitor on the Switch 2 to other monitors, and supposedly it's 10 times slower than the typical gaming monitor and 100 times slower than an OLED panel. And that makes sense, because when I was watching a comparison of, the Switch 1 with an OLED monitor compared to, Switch 2 with the LCD, I honestly thought the Switch 1 with an OLED looked better. It blows my mind that they released it with an LCD panel. You know what I mean? But I guess they tried to cut costs, right? To sell more Switches. Probably still looks good. Like, LCD screens are still pretty good, but OLED is a pretty big jump, and I could say that now because I went from a 1080 LCD to an OLED last month, and I can really notice the difference. And we have to watch out here, guys. Pretty dangerous, especially when we actually get up to the cave. Not a very safe place to be, but I'm not going to try to go too deep into the cave. A lot of patrols like this guy. And this guy. I can pull him back. Be nice to get both of them, but is he coming our way? Sort of looks like it. I'm looking forward to playing Mists of Pandaria again. I'm going to be playing on this server called Globulus. It's an RP PvP server on the other classic servers that are currently in Cataclysm, but going into Mists of Pandaria pretty soon. And I seen a post of somebody talking about this player called Mayor West, and he RPs as the Mayor of Stormwind. I think he's referring to the Family Guy character, Mayor West, who was like Batman, Adam West, from like way back in the day, way before my time. He was like the first like Batman, I guess you could say. You have any more food here? I'm kind of saving these. I don't know why. Should I? What do we have here? We have the long juice cocktail. I guess we'll save it. Should use a scroll of stam, though. Just in case. Give us another 120 health. Would be ashamed to die with, you know, items like that in our bags. Good thing about Yetis, they don't run. But yeah, so he pretends he's like the Mayor of Stormwind. He goes in. People play along with him. And it's just a fun server, man. I've done a few playthroughs on the server with my Draenei Shaman, Dwarf Hunter, and Worgen. That was all on Globulus, so I'm looking forward to playing the monk on there. We'll see if we run into any like RP situations. I always think they're kind of fun. Gizzard gum, should we just use this? Yeah. Just gonna use it for an hour. Gives us 25 spirit, which is pretty much just health regen. I'll save the stamina though for like levels where I think if we go into Ungirl Crater, I might use that. Long juice cocktail gives us 250 health. It could save our life if we run into a Devil's Sword. Because I think we'll probably have to go there eventually. Alright, so we cleared out all of the Yetis outside of the cave. Now we are going to head inside. And there are patrols inside as well we need to watch out for. We also need to watch out for spawns that'll come back and probably patrol inside of the cave. They're level 53 though, we should be fine. But better safe than sorry. Very creepy cave, this cave. It kind of looks like a warlock was in it or something like that. There is a backstory to this cave. I forget what it is, but these aren't all these skulls aren't the Yetis collecting them. At the end of the cave, there's actually an alchemy table you can use as well, which is cool. You can make all the greater flasks at those tables, like Titan's flasks, Blast of Supreme Power. Just making sure there's nothing behind us there. A couple of ores to get. Mithril. I think we can mine Mithril now. Yeah, we can. It's going to tempt me to go inside. A little deeper than I should. Perfect hide. This item begins a quest. Nice. You found what may very well be a perfect Yeti hide. You easily note that it is exceptionally thick and sturdy. More so than even the ones you've seen from the Yeti and Rage Scar. Considering that Jangdor Swiftstrider at Camp Mahache is in the market for Yeti hides, this particular one may be of considerable interest to him. So we'll accept that. Turn that in. think we're okay here. Looks like there's mithril just down that way. Just need to make sure we don't pull 3 mobs. If we pull 3 mobs, we could be okay. Need 5 more Yeti hides. There's the alchemy table up there. There's one of the deposits. There's a patrol. Keep an eye on that guy. And there's elder ones. The elder ones are a little bit stronger than the ferocious ones. Is he gonna come down this way? Yeah, nice. So we'll wait for him. And then that'll be another patrol down. Okay, so we'll head up here. I think there's more for us to mine. I should have bought some food. I messed up. Need to remember to buy food. We have 75 gold and I have no like food to eat. But I guess we'll just use bandages. And ZG buffs are going out, so if you hang out in Booty Bay, good chance you'll land one. Gives you like 15 doll stats, I think, and movement speed. I think it might be something else as well. Just kind of forget. Not a bad buff. Pretty good. Okay, seems like we're kind of safe here. Keep on moving. Try to get the other mithril deposit. Looks like a patrol down there. Could jump down, but is it safe? No. Not safe at all. I think this was like a night elf cavern or something. I don't know. Clearly like a warlock was here or something like that. So these used to be night elf lands, right? Until they were taken over by, I guess you could say, the ogres. So I'll put a marking on this guy. Seems to be a patrol. We'll keep slowly pushing our way through this cave. There's a patrol there. Cool, like purple smoke on the ground. It's kind of a unique cave. Like, most caves don't get this much attention in Classic. A lot of them look the same. bandage. Just up there is where the... Okay, so he's coming back down. Try to finish off this Yeti here. Should we wait for him? Yeah, we should. I have another bandage in like 15 seconds. Probably just get a bunch of health regen, wait for this guy to patrol down to us. Kind of creepy. Okay. The back spawning's not too bad. We haven't really ran into much. Like sometimes stuff just spawns right on top of you when you're in caves. It really sucks when that happens. Yeah, that's the final mithril deposit. We still need 2 more Yeti hides before we make our way out of here. Another perfect Yeti hide. There we go. We got all the ores we wanted to get. Start making our way out. I assume they are starting to spawn again. If you have skinning, you can also skin these Yetis as well. Just another patrol. Just want to make sure we don't charge into him in another Yeti. That would suck. They are starting to spawn back again. Should watch out. They could spawn on top of us, so let's try to make our way out of here. Just want to get that patrol down. There you go, we got all 10. We could hearth out. I think we'll stay, though. For now. Bandage up quick. Still see the patrol. Let's fight our way out of here. Starting to spawn behind us. Don't really have anywhere to run. Just have to fight our way out. We're okay here. Yeah, he goes pretty far. But they are coming back now. Good time for us to have a little bite to eat. Get our food buff, and then we'll fight the patrol. That's really the main thing about caves. Just make sure you don't run into a patrol. and kind of find out what the spawn rate is, because it does suck when things are spawn. Like you can't run out if you get into trouble. You have to fight. Because if you try to run out, you're gonna run into stuff. So make sure that you can fight your way out. And don't run, just fight. It's the best thing to do. You're in a cave. That's how usually people die. They try to run out thinking that the stuff hasn't spawned, but it has. And they get wrecked. There's another patrol there. Couldn't really click on them. Yeah, mark the patrols. It does help because you can forget. It does help when you can see them coming around the corner with like a skull mark or an X, square, whatever. Whatever mark you choose. Alright, there's another one. Keep using up these mage weave bandages. I think we now have, yeah, rune cloth. Not a lot though. Just a little bit. We really need some food. I'm gonna just buy like a couple stacks. Our bag space is going down quite a bit too. We'll cook a few of these tender wolf meats. Can mount up too and just run out, but we'll fight our way out. That's something I heard about as well as or I've seen people die many times just mounting up and trying to run through stuff. And then they get dazed and then die. I've seen that happen quite a bit. Happened to me, sort of. I wasn't really mounted, but tried to run through a bunch of trolls on my human warrior and I got wrecked. Alright, so I think we made it out, guys. I think now we'll probably look for fairy dragons. I think I just have to slay them, right? We have to go back to the hinterlands. Slay owl beasts. It freaked me out a little bit. Widow hunter. What a name. Yeah, I think the fairy dragons just drop the minerals, so we should be able to find them that way. A lot of warriors dying tonight. They died to falling in the hinterlands. Wonder where that was. Oh, here. Jumped off the waterfall, maybe? Hit a rock. That's brutal. Died 49. Like, we could die here just falling off, maybe. This will be a long quest to complete natural minerals. Resilient Sinew from the Owl Beasts. Take quite a while to get. I think we can fight the Mountain Giants now. High enough level. We'll be hanging out in Feralas for a little bit. Hoping that we can get level 54 here. Once we get past level like 50, once we get to 56, 57, 58, it becomes a bit safer. Until we go to the Plague Lands. The Plague Lands are pretty not safe at all. There we go. No, finally not a warrior dying. A rogue. Undead rogue. I do a bristleback water seeker. And the barons. So close to getting vanish. That's what you got to do as a rogue. Just survive until you get vanish, and then you're kind of smooth sailing. On my rogue playthrough, I actually almost died to a Devil Sore, but I had vanish, so we were safe. I was like kind of just killing stuff at this corner, and then this Devil Sore just walked up out of nowhere, like, it freaked me out. Okay, so here's some fairy dragons here. We'll see how we do. It's good that they still give us XP, but once we hit 54, they won't. Probably pull more than one. Keep on looking though. It seems like this is like a quest that you just do if you can do it. I assume it's probably kind of a pain to get all the materials that you need. I've never done this quest before, to be honest. It's connected to this other quest that we had to do in the Hinterlands, so I think that's the reason why people probably, or I haven't done it. A lot of traveling. So we got an iron deposit up there. I don't really see too many fairy dragons here. Maybe to the north we can find a few. It's going to be fun playing pandas, though, and seeing how much different the game is compared to playing, you know, vanilla classic. A level 60 rogue died to Onyxia. A lot of raid deaths. Probably pulled threat. That would be my guess. Pulled threat, didn't vanish. Got one shot or maybe two shot. Yeah, you have to vanish as a rogue or during fights if you see yourself anywhere on the threat meter. It's a good thing about vanish as well. You completely drop threat. So you can pump a little bit and then drop threat. What could have happened there? You just pumped too much at the start. Maybe you just got a bunch of crits. Maybe the tank got parried a few times. That happens, and then the rogue gets threat and just dies. scary situation for everybody who's in the raid too, if that's how it would happen, because Nixia can just fire breath on everybody. Okay, good. Here we go. Finally, some sprites. Try to pull 2 here. I want to pull the bear as well. It's kind of... It's another one. Let's pull this one. There's another one. Keep pulling them. Try to get full rage. Pull this one. That's more than enough there. Just cleave them down. Ah, it's not too bad. We already got 2. It's pretty good. Fight this one here. Should be fine. Imagine I just start getting parried over and over again and die to this level 44 Sprite Darter. Not bad. So if we see like a pack of them, it's a good chance we get a few. There's one over here. The drop rate should not be that bad because of the amount of materials you need to get for this quest. Try to bring this one over. There we go. See if we can find some more over here. Could get really close to that bear and we wouldn't pull, so I'm not too worried about him. Looks like I can't find any more. Another thing that's going to be a little bit of a pain is holding on to all of these these items. Only 4, but probably take up quite a few slots. I don't think we can stack 20 of these. Brazilian sinews, probably 10 maybe. And the metallic fragments, maybe we could stack 40. I'm not too sure. We'll see. I'll try to finish it. I've never done this quest before, so I'll check it out. That's the fun thing about WoW. Sometimes you just run into stuff you've never done before, even though you've leveled up a bunch of characters. There's probably a bunch of quest chains I haven't done. Alright, so we're gonna head back. Looks like we've cleared out that pack of fairy dragons. We'll eventually get the final one. And then after we finish that, we can actually move down here. Probably try to get a bunch of quests done here. Let's turn this in.
Welcome to Camp Mojachi, brave adventurer.
If
How may
these
I
Rage
assist you
Scar
this day?
Yeti hides are anything like the quality displayed by their Feral Scar counterparts, they could very well be as resilient as thorium.
Excellent, excellent. These are going to work out incredibly well. I can already tell that they're going to be much harder when properly cured. Thanks again for your aid, adventurer. Here, please take one of my latest creations. This is an incredible find. I believe this is the finest Yeti hide specimen I have ever seen. Indeed, this is certainly worthy of an appropriate bounty. I normally don't pay that much for a single hide, but I'm confident I can make something special from it. Thanks for thinking of me on this, adventurer.
Alright, so we got this chest, leather chest, pretty nice leather chest. 129 armor, 6 strength, 7 agi, 15 stamina. Not better than ours though, so we will have to sell it. Alright guys, so next episode, plan will be to probably try to get the final encrusted mineral, and then we'll make our way down here to get the metallic fragments, resilient sinew, and the hippogriff musec. Maybe the Gorduni orb if we're lucky. But, as always, guys, thanks for watching. Keep your heads up. Later.